Hi listeners, this is Deborah from Mystic Wolf Soulcrafts and welcome to Mystical Tea Time, where we drink tea and talk about all things ascension and spirituality. Today I'm going to be talking about past lives and parallel lives and reincarnation. It's not going to be a very long episode, it's going to be rather short, but we can definitely talk about this more in the future. For those of you who know me, welcome back, and for those of you who are new, my name is Deborah and I'm a multidimensional channel, healer, and intuitive artist and writer. If you want to stay up to date on all the podcast episodes, make sure to go to anchor.fm/mysticalteatime. So that's anchor.fm/mysticalteatime, or you can go on YouTube and subscribe there. So let's get started. So people will often ask, what is the difference between a past life and a parallel life? And the thing is, really, there is no difference. And I know some of you may go, what? How is there no difference between a life that you're living now alongside your current life or a life that you've lived in the past? I know that it's kind of hard to understand at first when you're opening up to all of these spiritual concepts. I know it's not easy. And it's really simple to understand past life, current life, future life. That's the easiest way to place all these things on a certain timeline, if you will, to just make sense of it all at first. But then you're starting to see that it's just not that it doesn't go that way, that it's different, that it's just, it doesn't work that way, because you can see that everything is happening at the same time and there is nothing happening at the same time, because there is only this time right now. Right now I'm sitting here at my table and I have a cup of tea with me. I'm in my house. So how is it possible that at the same time I'm somewhere else, or I'm in the past, or I'm in the future? Well, the thing is, when I focus in on this moment right now, I'm in the now, in this moment. But in my past life, I was also in the now, in that moment. There's only, the moment that is happening. But where do all these other moments go? If you think about it, they're on some kind of linear timeline, a linear timeline that we've invented or that we can perceive from within our 3D perspective of life on Earth. But the thing is, your soul is really way more vast than the little fragment that's in this body right now. Like in my case, there's this little piece of my soul that's in this body that's talking to you right now, and it's in this year 2020, and it's 33 years old. But then there's another piece of my soul that's somewhere else, and another piece that's somewhere else, and another piece that's somewhere else. And when you think about it, all those pieces, I can call all of those pieces back to me to communicate with all of those pieces. And what am I doing then? When you think about it, I'm channeling past lives or parallel or future lives and gaining information from those lifetimes. That's why you have certain people and they go back to lifetimes where they were burned at the stake for being witches or something like that, and or people that go into hypnosis, past life regressions, and they can recall past lives. That's what basically happens. They do, like, they call back a piece of their soul and ask for the information, and ask to be shown the information and to integrate the information so that they can heal from it. But back to what I mean with parallel lives, because I really like the term parallel lives instead of past or future or any other label that points to a certain time, because it's all happening right now. Because basically it's not like one long linear line, a timeline, and you can go forward or back in time. Basically, picture it as a field of flowers, and you're walking around in the field of flowers, and you go smell this flower in the year, like basically there's this flower and it represents the year 1986. That's when I was born. And then you walk a little bit further and there's a flower and it's the year 600. So you smell that flower, and then there's another flower a little bit further, and that's the year 3000. I'm just saying you can go back and forth to different times in space, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the past or that it's the future. You can just choose to experience it in the now moment, basically. Look at it as a circle, and all these different lifetimes are dots within the circle. It's all connected and all part of one big whole, and like one big whole thing that's you, and it's all just little aspects of you. So that's why often when I'm working with people's spirit guides, they're surprised when I tell them that their spirit guide is actually just another aspect of them that's guiding them. So basically what I'm saying is you can communicate with yourself in another lifetime. You can basically be your own guide. You can be your own spirit guide in another lifetime. I'm not saying that we in this time can be guides to a future aspect or a past aspect of ourselves. We're not spiritually advanced enough. But what I am saying is that certain people, definitely star seeds, people with star guidance, they will have often, very often, they will have spirit guides that are Pleiadian, Sirian, Arcturian, and that are very advanced spiritually and emotionally, technologically, and they will contact their people here in this lifetime, and they will introduce themselves, and they will first explain that they are guiding them, that they are from another star system, that they are guiding them with this or this or this aspect in their life. And after that, they will slowly start introducing themselves as basically another aspect of that person's soul. And that is when the integration can start. That is when the embodiment of that frequency of that star system can start. I know I went off on a little, I got a little sidetracked with the starseed stuff right now, but that is also a part of the past life or parallel life experience, that we start experiencing these galactic timelines, and we can start integrating them. And I think that that is, you're going to start seeing that more and more in the past life community or reincarnation parallel life community, I think. Do people actually incarnate like that, let's say in the year 560, and do they go and have a lifetime in the year 1990, and then they have a lifetime in the year 1700 again? In my experience, no, because it usually doesn't align with the soul's growth or mission and the collective level of spiritual awareness that the soul requires to thrive and to be able to perform its mission. But technically speaking, it could be possible, but in my experience, it hasn't happened that way. But then again, I may not know, because I'm looking at it from a linear point of view, and this past life that I may remember may actually be a future life. But because everything is happening in the now moment, in this circle with the dots, I'm already remembering and experiencing this life that I am still to have, that on the linear timeline would be perceived as a past life. Are you still with me? And that is also why past life work is so important to me. Sometimes I'll get asked the question why I spend so much time going back to past lives when I'm so spiritually invested in being present and being in the now. But the whole reason for that is so that I can be even more fully in the now, so that I can call back that piece of my soul that may be causing me difficulties in this lifetime, so that I may heal that part of myself, so that I may integrate that and become the best version of myself in this moment. Because improving past life outcomes basically equals improving parallel life outcomes, which means improving this current life, since there is only the current moment and time isn't linear. It's more like a circle with no beginning and no end. So that is why I am so passionate about past life work. I care so much about past life work and getting to know your past lives and communicating with your own past life aspects, because it is basically you talking to yourself from another point of view. I offer past life portraits and readings with a guided meditation. You can find more info on my website about this if you feel called to work with me and dive into your past lives. You can always contact me about this. I tap into your Akashic records, your soul's library basically, and you have lifetimes that are connected to this lifetime. Prior to each incarnation, you make up a soul contract, so to speak. You make up a soul contract. And in those contracts are the things that you wish to achieve, your goals basically, your mission that you basically determined before you incarnate, the people you will meet, the lessons you will learn, and all like the stuff that's going to help you and the people that are going to help you with that lesson or with those lessons, and vice versa. The people that you will help in their lessons, all that stuff is mentioned in your soul contracts. So let's say, for instance, I tune into your energy and you have a Native American come forward who is you in another lifetime. Then that person may give me a message for you that's about staying true to your intuition and courage. And in this lifetime, you may have tried on your intuition and you may doubt yourself. And it can be very empowering to get that message. It's a very empowering thing too, to come to the realization that you are also this other person who is actually very intuitive and relies on their intuition all the time. And then you're kind of able to channel that other aspect of yourself, that other person that is basically you, in this lifetime. And that's what I mean with integration and calling back that soul aspect. You're integrating it back into your entire being. And that is why I work with past lives and why I think it's so beneficial, especially in these times of ascension, to call back all parts of yourself. So yeah, if you're curious about how that works, go and have a look on my website, and you can find the link in the description box below. That's it for this week. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in and join me for this short episode about past lives. I'd love it if you commented so we can keep the conversation going. And if you want to stay up to date on all the podcast episodes, make sure to go to anchor.fm/mysticalteatime, and there you can find all available podcast links such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more, or listen by subscribing on YouTube. And I'll see you next time.